My friend, I was asked for a request. Paul Simon, me and Julio. So here we go. We're going to be playing with an A, we're going to be playing with a D, we're going to be playing with an E. We're also going to have a quick B and a walk up from the E, which incorporates an E major with an E with an F sharp, G, G sharp, back to A. The whole idea of this is to stay focused on where the boom checka is with your rhythm content. The best way to learn how to do that rhythmically is to do a downstroke, 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 upstroke, downstroke. That's going to help us get these down, 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 boom checka, boom chaka, boom chaka. It's almost like a 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. Bump, 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 bump. And when you speed this up, you're going to have like a A, D, D, A. Goes back and forth. Ready? 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Mama Pajama rolled out of bed and ran to the police station. When Papa found out, he began to shout and started the investigation. The whole thing uses an A major to a D major. Sometimes I loosely take off the F sharp up top so I can have a D sus over the top, but it falls back into the A sus too, because that D over the top of the A creates that fifth or the fourth, the sus. So back up over to the C sharp. When we go down to the E and we hold that out, you notice I took away my finger here. That thusly just made my E major an E dominant 7. I could add that top D up as I just did for the A as well, but it's a little too D heavy. The whole thing again. 1, 2, 3, 4. Mama Pajama rolled out of bed and ran to the police station. When Papa found out, he began to shout. He started the investigation. I was playing an E, E with an F sharp, E with a G, E with a G sharp, back to the A. Nice. When we get to the second part where it does, it's against the law, we're going to jump right back to the E. So E, B, C sharp, D. I'm sorry, A, B minor, C sharp, D, E. E's going to be on fifth there, so we're going to the fifth and we're going to be playing it's against the law. Back to 1, A, going over to E, fifth, going back to 1, and then we're going to go back with the rhythm again for the verse 2. Well, mama, look back around every time my name gets mentioned. When Papa found out, gonna get that boy, I'm gonna stick him in a world of detention. Here's where we're going to be moving into like the chorus, the bridge moves over. Well, I'm on my way. We're going to move up to the fourth, the major fourth, that D major. So A major, B minor, C sharp minor, D major. That D major could be played like this, where you're spreading it out, but I suggest this because it's easier to go back and forth between the two. If you're having a hard time going back and forth between chords, try doing something which I call teeter-totter. Everybody else teaches a different way. Mine just is getting to know and familiarize yourself with A major, A major, A major, hell, even A major with your fourth finger if you want. Hardly ever going to play any sort of bar structure using that, but when you get up to using your fingers and you want muscle memory, having every finger as strong as your dominant finger is just as important. So here's what the A and the first finger would look like for a blues riff. It would be taking the A major, rolling from our minor third, C, to a major third with the C sharp, A major, C, C sharp, A. All these have their different technical ways, but like your mama don't dance and your daddy don't rock and roll. It would have that kind of half bluesy bebop Dorian movement there. Otherwise, in me and Julio, all we're going to be doing is going from A to the D, A to the E. Pretty much through the whole thing. Well, I'm on my D. I don't know A, I'm going, well, I'm on my way. Here's where the fun is. We're going to attack that D. Well, I'm on my way, but I'm taking my time, but I don't know where. So we're going to be going from D, D, A, D, back to the A before the B. A, B, E. So what we just did in A major, we did not go to B minor, which is in the key of A. We went to a B major, thusly changing the key and then directly back when we move into the E. Now you can say that, oh, we stayed in a different key because the E could be relative to that key. However, in the key of A, that E's already the fifth. Let's jump back in there and just call the ones we know out. That's the major fifth, okay? It is the dominant. So when we switch, you're just moving between a chord really quick. Beauty of Paul Simon. When we get through with this, well, I'm on my way, don't know where I'm going, I'm on my way, taking my time, but I don't know where. Goodbye, road. I hit a D major and then I turn that D around, drop this down through a D major 7 and go to a D dominant 7 to give it a little bit action. That D dominant 7 actually functions as a F sharp diminished in the key of G, which leads us to think that it's going to change its tone, and lo and behold, in the chorus that's about to come up, there's a quick key change which you subtly don't notice unless you see these as being 4 independent chords which are relative. Meaning, me and Julio down by the schoolyard. So that A to D, A to E, that's in the key, sounds relative. But then it goes A to G, D to E, thusly changing the chord structure to the G. Hence, that D7 wasn't a D7, it was an F sharp diminished. Let's see it all in context a little bit faster than it should be. Remember, if you need to slow down, shoot up there at the top. But we're going to always try and keep all these explanations of fun, famous songs under 10 minutes. Sometimes they run a little high when you're doing stuff like Zappa or Led Zeppelin. However, when you get into the context of what these chord structures are and what notes you're hitting, making sure you go slow in these videos is great. I know I speak fast, so slow me down up here. If you have questions, put them in the bottom. If not, enjoy the music. Here's what it looks like in its total. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Mama Pajama rolled out of bed and ran to the police station. When Papa found out, he began to shout. He started the investigation. Along against the law. What Mama saw was against the law. Mama looked down every time, every time my name get mentioned. And Papa said, boy, I'm gonna get that boy, I'm gonna stick him in a house detention. Well, I'm on my way, I don't know where I'm going, I'm on my way, taking my time, but I don't know where. Goodbye, Rose, Queen of Corona, singing me and Julio down by the schoolyard, singing me and Julio down by the schoolyard. Couple of days come and take me away. There's a press that is so really when a radical freak's gonna let the story leak, gonna put it on the cover of Newsweek. Well, I'm on my way, don't know where I'm going, I'm on my way, taking my time but I don't know where. Goodbye, Rose, Queen of Corona, singing me and Julio down by the schoolyard, Julio down by the schoolyard, singing me and Julio down by the schoolyard, singing me and Julio down by the schoolyard. And for some solo considerations over the top of this, these are all pretty much in the major, so we're going to be using Do, Re, Mi, Fa, Sol, La, Ti, Do. Ionian has all natural notes in that. Well, actually not. In the key of A major, we have 3 that are not. The C sharp, the F sharp, and the G sharp, which would be the 3rd, the 6th, and the 7th. Other than that, you could play pretty much straight through with the natural notes from the scale pattern of Ione. Whole step, half step, whole step, whole step, whole step, half step. The variations you could use in major keys would absolutely be a raised 4th for Lydian, so you would have A, B, C sharp, and then D sharp. So that doesn't fit that well over this type of tune. However, Mixolydian, the other modal structure, utilizing a flat 7th, Do, Re, Mi, Fa, Sol, La, Ti, Do, can work because a lot of these are these blues slides. So instead of just playing an A all the time, you might want to get rid of that A. Make sure you don't hit that G sharp, but you utilize the open G, which would give you a dominant 7. You could have that G up top, but that's a whole lot of G for us. Alright, and then when you use that D major to D7, remember that's an F sharp diminished, so you could get a little funky on there if you're doing something in your solos. You could jump into Locrian or sub-Lydian, so like that Lydian with the raised 4th in the key of F sharp. If we were to play F sharp Lydian, we would have something like that that would be super Locrian. F sharp Lydian would have like a would have that raised fourth note in there, okay? So when you're going through these, have lots of fun, and remember, you can use your A major styles to your B minor, to your C, D, E. Use all of the spatial differences that you've learned from being able to move just your pattern shapes up the neck, meaning the pattern shape for your 1 is gonna be a lot like the pattern shape for your 4 and your 5, just the same way as the pattern shape for your 2, your 3, and your 6 are going to be the same. 3 majors, 3 minors, and then 1 amazing diminished. If you could find that diminished inside of all of your chords, you're on your way to understanding do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, G, A, B minor, C major, D major, E minor, F sharp diminished, and it's a D7. So jump into a couple of these other videos if you like, but for today's lesson, Paul Simon, me and Julio down at the schoolyard, try and play this one slow, faster than normal, and then right at beat. Had a great time today. Hope to see you soon. Aloha.